What's up, guys? If you're struggling getting started using 3D modeling applications like SketchUp, or you've just grown entirely frustrated with the overall experience, I have a series of tips and tricks videos geared just for you. This video is the first in that series, and TLDR, get yourself one of these. This is a Logitech 3-button wireless trackball style mouse. Now, it doesn't have to be exactly this model. The most important thing is that it be a 3-button mouse, and I'll talk more about that later on in the video. But I've been using SketchUp for over 15 years, in computers for over 30, and I will tell you this thing is an absolute game changer. SketchUp aside for a moment, I'm 53 years old, a little bit long in the tooth, and I hate to admit it, but I have started to feel some of those symptoms related to repetitive motion and carpal tunnel syndrome. Input-intensive applications like SketchUp only make that worse. So I was a little hesitant at first, but I decided to give it a go, and after a couple years of using this thing, I can honestly say I'm never going back to a regular mouse. Now, I can't tell you how many people are frustrated, fed up, ready to give up on 3D modeling entirely. But in talking to those people, I've come to the realization that the root of their problem is mostly related to the equipment they're using. Laptop, small screen, condensed keyboard, and trying to model using the onboard trackpad. While it's great for doing things like email, surfing the web, documents, and things like that, it's just not built for input-intensive applications like SketchUp. So it doesn't surprise me that they're getting frustrated and fed up. If I had to rely on the onboard trackpad, I can honestly say today would probably be my last day modeling. I'll go into SketchUp and we'll demonstrate just a couple of simple, basic, foundational operations that'll illustrate why this thing has been a game changer for me, and hopefully it'll be helpful to you as well. Okay, so here we are in SketchUp, and I've modeled just a simple box using the rectangle and push-pull tools. And one of the most common operations you'll typically perform in SketchUp is after performing an operation, you'll want to look around and marvel at what it is that you just created. And you do that using the orbit tool right here. So to just sort of break this down into the micro movements here, you'd slide your mouse or you'd slide your finger across the trackpad, tap on that to engage in that mode, and you'll see that it's changed now that my mouse pointer is changed to that icon for orbit. You'll move back into the canvas and then click and hold the left mouse button, and then move your mouse to rotate around and take a look at that object. Now, that might seem simple and innocent enough, but doing that dozens, if not hundreds of times on the trackpad, I will tell you, is already a tedious operation. With this style of mouse, right, let me show you how that works now. Let's say we were back in our original mode, the push-pull. Rather than moving the mouse, you simply rotate the trackball with your thumb to then, in this case, move up to the toolbar. I'd click on that to go into that operation, rotate the trackball back down again with my thumb, and then click and hold, and then I use my thumb rotating the trackball to orbit around that object. You'll notice that my mouse isn't moving across the desktop. In fact, it's not on the desktop at all. So that difference alone between this mouse and a traditional mouse, and certainly between this mouse and the trackpad, is already a game changer. But let me take it to the next level and show you where the magic happens with the middle mouse on this 3-button style mouse. Because the reality is, you will likely do that series of being in an operation, performing that operation, and then orbiting around, and then going back to that operation, the primary one, over and over and over again. Example, let's say I am properly sizing this rectangle here. I might push and pull these different faces, right? And then I'll go up to the orbit tool, and then I'm going to rotate around and look at what I've just done. And then I want to do some refinement. So I'm going to go back into the push-pull tool, right? And push, pull a little bit more, and then go back into the orbit mode, look around, go back to the push-pull tool to refine, lather, rinse, repeat. That is the type of series of operations that is extremely tedious, and I know gets a lot of people fed up in a hurry. Again, they're trying to do this on an inferior mouse, or worst case on the trackpad. With a mouse like this, let me show you that same sequence of events. So we're in the push-pull mode, our primary mode right here. So I'll go ahead and push and pull some faces. And then SketchUp has this hidden feature that allows you to click that middle mouse button. And if you click and hold, notice what happens to my mouse pointer. It temporarily changes to the orbit operation. So the other way, sort of the traditional way, would be to switch primary operations between what I'm modeling or drawing, and then switch to my primary operation to the orbit mode, and then switch back and forth. The middle mouse allows you to temporarily engage a secondary operation, perform that, and then when you release, notice how it goes back to my primary operation, right? Now this is a game changer when it comes to something like this, where you're going back and forth between modeling, looking, etc. When you take advantage of a mouse like this, where you're eliminating all of that motion of moving the mouse across your desktop, and you're eliminating the motion involved in switching back and forth between operations, and instead engaging this as a secondary operation with this middle mouse button. Now, as I mentioned, I've been using SketchUp for a really long time, and I only recently found out about that middle mouse button capability. It's one of those simple things that can turn SketchUp from an application that you tolerate using to one that you actually enjoy. It's been such a game changer for me that, let's say when I'm at home and I get an idea and I'm sitting on the couch and I want to quickly model up something, I'll get my ass back up off the couch, go into my office, and grab this. I have another one of these. That's how much I believe in this mouse. I have one at my home office and one here in my studio. I'll grab this and then use that with the laptop on the couch because it's just so much more ergonomic and enjoyable to use. Hopefully that was helpful. If so, please like and subscribe. Any questions or comments, hit me up below. Keep taking those creations to the next level. I'll see you in the next one.